The subjectiveness of fashion I felt was very relevant to the Dior Autumn-Winter 2024 collection, otherwise known as the Miss Dior collection, because it showed how divisive we can be in fashion. For that one collection, we had a very clear, I don't like it, it's not Dior, it's not what I'm used to. And then we had a very clear, I really like it, I feel it's very new, very directional. Let's see if I can get them into the viewfinder. They are heavy, so I'm not sure which is in which box. We are just going to have that surprise together. Let us unbox. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Cara and I'm from London. I vlog about all things fashion related with a guilty pleasure on the luxury end of it. Fashion is my therapy, it's my natural high, so if you can relate and would like to indulge with me, then like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell and follow me on our fashion fix together. Right guys, I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Today I wanted to digress into something that is very important to me and something I feel that my audience will enjoy. Today we are talking about the subjectiveness of fashion. How we lead with our feelings that determines whether we like or dislike something in fashion. I will also link that to the recent, well I would say it's recent, it was last year, Dior's Autumn-Winter 2024 runway collection for ready to wear. Now if you haven't seen my channel before, I will link below where I was invited by Dior and Mum to Paris Fashion Week where we saw that collection. So have a look at that. But I'm sure if you are a Dior fan or if you're a fashion fan, luxury fashion, then you will be very aware as to what that collection was all about. It was a very divisive collection and I will go into my thoughts on why I think that was. And also I will end this vlog with an unboxing from that collection. It's been a long time coming. It's been on my radar to talk to you about for so long. I just needed to structure it, lay it out and talk. Now get something comfortable to sit on, something nice to eat or drink, hot cup of tea, why not, it's transitional season, or something sparkly. There's going to be an unboxing guys, so get something nice and see me around the corner. What do I mean about the subjectiveness of fashion? So it's a psychological term. It's also a multi-sensory term about how we as a consumer determine whether we want to buy a product. The subjectiveness of fashion I felt was very relevant to the Dior Autumn-Winter 2024 collection, otherwise known as the Miss Dior collection, because it showed how divisive we can be in fashion. For that one collection, we had a very clear, I don't like it, it's not Dior, it's not what I'm used to, that's not right. And then we had a very clear, I really like it, I feel it's very new, very directional. And I feel that the majority of the social media comments I have seen has been more towards the negative side. And for me, being in fashion, I feel quite passionate about it. And I'm sure that if I explain how I feel about it, some of you might think that's how I feel about it, or actually I really don't. Despite you have explained the subjectiveness of fashion, I still don't like the collection. This isn't a vlog to convince you in any way, shape or form of my opinion. The subjectiveness of fashion is that it is such a beautiful natural thing we are all built with. If we go shopping for absolutely anything, it doesn't have to be fashion. Do we like it? Do we want it? Is it the right size? Is it the right price? Is it the right color? These are all things that when we're shopping we think about when we are looking at an object, when we are looking at something that we're having in our mind to be, oh I think I need to go shopping because I need to buy the new blah de blah, or I'm not sure what I'm looking for, I think I might go and have a look and get inspired from the store. But when you go there, whether you're looking for that item or not, is it something that you actually relate to? It's a multi-sensory experience. Subjectiveness, there is no right or wrong. That's one of the main things I have been wanting to say for about 10 months. I've been wanting to sit down and just talk to you about the passion I have about this topic. When I see comments across social media, now I referenced social media a couple of times already, it's a freedom of speech. A lot of people feel that they can have their say, and that is what the beauty of the subjectiveness of fashion gives us. We are allowed to hate things, we are allowed to love things. If your friend or someone you don't know loves this thing, we are allowed to disagree and say, okay, you like that, but actually I don't really like that. And why do you think that is? Because we are all completely different. We might have commonalities with each other, that's why we've got friends, that's why we're connecting with people, but it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to like the same things. So when I saw all of the divisive comments on the Miss Dior collection from last year, Autumn-Winter, it spurred me to think, do you know what, I really want to share this topic with you, because when I see comments saying, oh, I don't like it, what was that graffiti print, what were they doing? That's fine, because you don't like it. That's absolutely fine. It's not like people will say to you, you're wrong, actually. Why don't you get it? It's art. When you go to an art gallery, when you go and look at a film, you're allowed to say, oh, I don't like it. The artist's impression is their impression, but as they say, once an artist has finished their work, it's no longer theirs, it's ours. Because we're the ones that will judge it. We are the ones that will buy it, or we are the ones that will consume it. If it's music, we are the ones that will listen to it and feel. So when I say multisensory, it's not just about the object in your hand that you're looking at to buy, it's how you will feel. As I said, this has been 10 months in the making. I've had it on my top 5 vlogs to do that shares my opinions with you, and it's finally come round. We've got sunny day, I'm wearing my Dior. Now, if you aren't familiar with the Miss Dior collection, I'm now going to talk to you about that briefly before we go into my thoughts about the collection. The 1960s. An important decade for women. Now, without giving you a history lesson, because I want you to stay, listen and watch this vlog, because we are leading into the unboxing later on, but if you are interested in the history of fashion and how history has effectively evolved over the decades, then I can talk more about that throughout my channel at different points. But specifically to this vlog, the 60s was a very important era, and Marc Bohan's collection, the Miss Dior collection, came out in 1967. So what happened before 1967? The 60s was an era, it was post-war. It was a time where people wanted change. The children of the parents who lived through the war, they now wanted change. They were more liberal and willing to change society for the better. But the parents, the mothers especially, they were still housewives. It was known to be accepted that once you're a woman in the 50s, you should get married, be a homemaker, a mother and a wife, and that should be enough, because then you are the homemaker, the matriarch of the family. The beginning of the 60s is also known as the second wave of feminism. The first wave was in 1920 when women legally were allowed to vote. The second wave came after numerous feminist authors or women who advocated in their rights as a woman over the 60s came into play. Now, without discussing all of them, we would be here forever. There are 2 specific feminist authors I wanted to quickly pick out and just highlight, because I feel that they are important to talk about, which then led into the importance of the Miss Dior collection, why we have the graffiti print, and why it's so important for Dior history. Simone de Beauvoir wrote The Second Sex. It grew into such a phenomenon that the USA published it in 1953, and essentially it discusses the notion of how a woman is always second to a man. Now, in the 60s, 10 years after that book was published, Betty Friedan wrote her book, The Feminine Mystique. Now, her book to me is so interesting because she was a journalist before she got married. Her book stems across her experience experience as a housewife, mother and homemaker, and I believe she went to one of her school reunions and talked to fellow classmates that then spurred her to write her book. She wrote an account of different women's entries over the 5 years of her interviews with them to share their experiences of how they were unhappy in the socially accepted happiness that a woman should have been as a housewife, homemaker, mother, and essentially someone that is only good for doing that and not working or using any skill. Now, Friedan was originally a journalist and an author before she got married, but she stopped her career after marriage, moved to the suburbs, and still started to write freelance, but it grew and grew within her that she wasn't happy, and so spurred her book, which sold, I believe, over 3 million copies in the world. Her book essentially criticizes two spheres: the female sphere, where women are designed to live and work at home as the homemaker, and the male sphere, where men are allowed to work outside, build on their skills, and flourish in the working industry. Effectively, Friedan's book inspired a lot of women to create the new sphere, and therefore protesting against the image of a woman of the 60s and before started to come to the fore. Women started to want to repel and change the world and not be considered as the woman depicted in this book, and get out of the stupor that they were in their real lives. Fast forward to 1968. So 1968 saw the protest known as Miss America protest. If you haven't heard of that, it's one of the most liberating protests for women, where women decided enough is enough. We are not going to be considered as the traditional housewife, homemaker, mother only, no career woman anymore. They had a protest in America in 1968 in line with the 1968 Miss America pageant, which was going on every year, and about 200, I believe, feminists and civil rights activists came out and basically threw items that depicted their role as a housewife, and came out with symbolic feminine objects such as the bra and threw it into a trash can. This was known as the Freedom Trash Can Movement. Going back 1 year before, 1967, is the start of the first Dior ready-to-wear line. Now, this was from Marc Bohan and Philippe Gilbourget. This was to encourage the youth, the younger customer, for women of all ages to wear Dior. Before this, there was no ready-to-wear line, it was all couture. Christian Dior himself had said he wants to design clothes for all women. He wanted everyone to wear his collection. So Marc Bohan and Philippe Gilbourget created the more wearable, everyday line, which was known as the Miss Dior ready-to-wear line. And that is why it is such an important collection in our history. For Marc Bohan's collection, this is where things got interesting. At the end of the 60s and the beginning of the 70s, women were feeling that they were being heard a bit more, and in terms of the 60s, it was all about the shorter length skirts, the colour. Colour was such a key part of fashion in the 60s. Maria Grazia Chiuri resurrected the bold colours last year in her Miss Dior collection. Now, as I said before, there was a lot of comments of, oh my gosh, I wouldn't wear those colours will go straight into sale, what were they thinking? But if you link the collections back to the history and the heritage of the house, as well as marrying it back to the popular culture, I have explained a very brief synopsis of the importance of the feminist movement in the 60s and why colour was so important. People were fed up of oppression. It was the end of the war. No one wanted to be confined anymore. It was the time where people were searching for an escape, something different. The music, the art, it all came together into one big climatic change. The 60s were so important for that. now we know about the importance of the era, the importance of the heritage iconic Miss Dior logo. I wanted to link this back to Maria's collection, now specifically about the graffiti print. Every time I saw comments saying negative things about the graffiti print Miss Dior artwork, I thought, okay, I really need to share my passion behind it, because I feel that this is the connection of the graffiti print. And as I say, when an artist creates work and puts it out there for the public, it is no longer theirs, it is for us to interpret and understand, or not. And in my understanding, I really believe the graffiti print created by Maria Grazia Chiuri, Miss Dior graffiti print, let's just be clear what we're talking about here. I believe that she took inspiration from the very important protests towards the end of the 60s, the ones I've talked to you about already, because if you look at the placard of a protest card, even today, you will scroll in paint or marker pen and hold it above your head in sheer determination to make a change. That's why I believe that Maria took an iconic logo of Miss Dior and emblazoned it to look like a graffiti print, because effectively what women were saying in the late 60s was, we are not Miss America, we are not her, we are a woman, we have a brain, we have the desire to work, we want to have careers. And I think what Maria has done with her line, she has effectively played homage to that by having a graffiti print Miss Dior, which essentially links this back to Dior, links popular culture and the feminist movement and the protests that made change happen to her Dior. And when you wear the Miss Dior logo in the graffiti print, it is to say that actually, I am not Miss America, I am Miss Dior. It is a nudge to people who love Dior. I believe I am a Miss Dior. Whether or not that was her thought to create the graffiti print, I don't know. I like the fact that Maria has created her own Miss Dior, and I think once she eventually moves out of being the artistic director from Dior, this will be cemented in her legacy, just like Marc Bohan did in 1967. Maria will have her stamp in 2024, and that is why I bought into some Miss Dior pieces. I did have a little hiatus with unboxings. It wasn't really something that interested me to share. I felt there were so many different things going on, and I thought, you know what, let me just save that for a rainy day. And I think that because I'm talking about this today, it feels very fitting to share the unboxings of the pieces, plural, that I bought from that collection. Now I'm really excited to show you. You may have already seen some of these pieces if you follow me on Instagram. If not, and you don't, here is my handle. Let me just say that I try to keep my items hidden until I reveal them on here, but because I haven't been doing that many unboxings, I'm sure you have seen that I have already worn these items, so I've repackaged them. Let's get straight in. I'm going to start with the crunchy paper one first. You can probably see through the tissue, but that's fine. I'm just going to unveil her. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. So let me remove the paper. This is the shirt. If you see the vlogs, I've pinned them below, but I'm trying to think how many I did. Did I do 1 or 2? I have also the Paris Fashion Week vlog, which is the same collection, so do make sure you have a look at those. But let me show you this gorgeous print that we have been discussing so long today. On the right sleeve, you've got some of the print, and on the body, half of the body, you've got some of the print, so it will read Miss Dior. This is the print that has had so much division. A lot of you said, oh, I don't like that, it's not me, and that's absolutely fine. But ironically, it's on the back of the inspiration that came from women wanting to be something more than she was back in the 60s. So I feel that as a woman, and because it's Maria's version of the logo, I wanted to buy into this as a souvenir, because people will always remember this as Maria's Miss Dior, not Marc Bohan's. If you bought the other logo, that's the Marc Bohan logo, resurrected by Maria. This is Maria's logo, created by Maria, and I'm such a fan of the last few collections that I've been buying into, as you will have seen on my channel, and I wanted to buy into this also because I love black and white. Let's just not get that unclarified. I love my black and white. However, the base color of this shirt is actually an off-white. To be honest, I would have preferred if this was an optic white. I just think it would have been a lot sharper, but it is an off-white. Now the cuffs are so cute. The inspiration for the trims were golden nugget buttons. So this is a removable cuff link, and it's on obviously both sleeves. This is a fabric that retains the sharpness when worn. Poplin is a slightly heavier weight weave. It's not as thin as your normal shirting. You can see it doesn't have a see-through element. I wore this for the Dior summer party last year. In fact, I've been meaning to share the pictures on my Instagram because I haven't yet posted them until now, but I will. And you will see the other items in that photo that I bought, but I'm going to show you now anyway. So this is the shirt. Let's show you item number 2. Now I'll just say that I have 2 of these boxes right here. Let's see if I can get them into the viewfinder. They are heavy. We are talking 2 very heavy boxes, and to be honest with you, they're the same size. So I'm not sure which is in which box. We're just going to have that surprise together. One of them is my mother's and one of them is mine. So she has kindly allowed me to repackage it and show it to you. Now I'm not sure what one is in here, but without further ado, have we got her in all of her glory? Yes. Let us unbox. This segment requires no unnecessary chatter. Beautiful box, absolutely gorgeous. Let's tilt you back and open it from here. I mean, we do wrap our things back really well, don't we? We still have everything intact. We still have the pleated paper inside. Trying to peek before you see it, but your guess is as good as mine for now. Let's remove her. And inside we have a dust bag. Now let us remove the item and I will put the box down. Are we ready? This has been a long time coming. As you know, if you follow me, I haven't done one of these for so long. What do we think is in here from everything that I've said already today? Have you got any guesses? Let us just reveal her, shall we? My new little baby girl, or is it mum's? On 3. 1, 2, 3. This is mum's. I can see it. Now, this is one of our items that we are absolutely in love with. Mum still had, she's so good, her sticker. We put the sticker back on afterwards, but this is, and my voice is hushed as usual, this is the Miss Dior flat bag. I'm just looking at her at the same time as you because we haven't seen her in a while. Now let's go into the details. So I won't remove this. Shall I remove the sticker? Hope Mum doesn't mind. Let's just do that for you. This is a yellow gold hardware. The entire bag is embossed with Miss Dior, the original 1967 logo. So if you were listening but you weren't sure exactly how important this logo was, Maria has resurrected both that logo and her one. But what we loved about the back of this bag is if you didn't want to flash the gold hardware, you could wear it as a clutch bag just with this side. I mean, hello, I would. Talking to you about the bag, this is very iconic shape. Now, I've already said I love history of fashion, I love culture, so I will put some clips of the most iconic film with Bette Davis, All About Eve. Now, if you look at those era films, this was in the 50s, right into the 60s, you will see Bette Davis is holding a very similar bag. It's a shoulder bag with a very flat strap, very simple bag. It just had one compartment. Now, let me take you back to this one. Try not to get my nails on it because it's not mine. We will just open her, very strong metallic clasp. Bless her, she's got the stickers even here still. This is how compact this bag is. As the video footage showed you on Bette Davis's bag, it's designed to be worn as a shoulder bag, so you have the matching strap. Now, when we were at the Dior party, there was a girl there, don't know who she was, and Mum was wearing this bag. So the girl said to Mum, "I don't like it. Do you like it?" Well, Mum had to say, well, yes, because I bought it. I think a lot of people felt that this bag was too small, but Mum bought this with the intention to wear it as an evening bag, and it's very iconic of the bag from All About Eve, isn't it? As you can see, it's such a simple, very 60s shape. And then going back into the bag, you have again Miss Dior throughout the inside there. Oh, it does actually have two compartments. So you've got the zipper on the front there, and you have a small welt pocket there, but essentially it's just for your, I mean, it fit our phone, our large phone in there, keys, compact. This is a souvenir piece from the Miss Dior Maria collection. Now let me show you number 3. You can tell it's sunset time, can't you, with the light changing slightly. Here is the final item, so obviously I will know what's in here now. This will be my item. Very excited to show you. Haven't seen you in a little while, have I? Let's just get into it, guys. I want to show you and see what you think. I'll also be interested to hear from anyone that commented on my vlog when I published the shopping vlog for this collection. Some of you said, oh, it's not me, I don't like it, I don't know what they were doing with the graffiti print. Has anything I've said kind of changed your mind, or did you know about the details I explained about the graffiti print, the protest placards, where I think it's come from? I don't know how many of you even look into that level of detail, or if it's just me that's quite obsessed with history of fashion, but this is what makes me happy, guys, you know, just connecting the dots between a interpretation from a director into the public eye for us to buy. And obviously we're not going to like everything. There's certainly some later pieces that are definitely not my cup of tea, but this one was and is. I believe in years to come, when I do still wear this, it will be a talking point. Oh, what's that one then? Where did that come from? Whose tenure was that under? And then we will proudly say everything I've said already in, I'll just say, just read the vlog, just watch the vlog. But yes, let's stop rambling and show you her. Another dust bag. Let us remove her. Put your comments below. If you've seen my Instagram, then don't let anyone know what you've seen, unless if you've seen my Instagram, you will already have known what's in here. I am so excited to reveal her to you. This is such a collector's piece, even if I do say so myself. Let's go from the bottom. 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bag. I love this bag. I haven't seen her in a couple of months. I've not worn her. Lately, I've still got my sticker on there. I don't even think I've taken my sticker off. So when I wore this to the Dior party, it was only like a few days old anyway. You can't even see the sticker on there, can you? Unless you look hard there. But this is the same bag as my mum's. However, this is the more out there print because her one is, well, I will compare them together at the end, but this is what I'm talking about, guys. The graffiti print, look how iconic and bold this is. They also did it with the reverse, the black base with the white print, and I had such a dilemma thinking I really like the black one and I was trying to be more practical and go for the black one. Fortunately, my mother also liked that version that I've just shown you. So let me show you on the sides the same hardware, but look at the back, guys. You have the same as the front. So if you don't want to hold it with this, you can hold it like this. Imagine an all black outfit, you know me, but also have a look at my Instagram for more images. I will post those party pics because I wore the shirt, didn't I? Had to. It was all about, you know, that this collection, it was all about the motif. So if you're going to go hard, go harder. So I wore this shirt with the Dior skirt, black tights, Dior platform shoes, and I finished it off with the bag. So I was like a placard. I was like my own placard that day. Let me show you the inside. The strap will be the same. I don't think I will show you the strap. Put that down for a moment. Then I've still got the tissue inside, but you've got the zipper section inside, a pocket there, you've got Christian Dior there, and also the leather, the quality of this leather, it's so soft. It's not a hard bag. I mean, I've got the tissue in there. Let me remove that. But I still have tissue in there. It's not hard at all. It's really pliable. Very good magnetic closure. Now guys, let me talk to you about the price. So these were both the same price. These were £2,950. Considering a Lady Dior is currently £5,000. This is an exceptional price for Dior, and when you think about how much you can get into a bag of this size, it's probably slightly bigger, I mean it obviously is, not probably, than a mini rectangle Chanel. It's the same sort of height. You've actually got a little bit more height because the flap doesn't lock over the edge as much as the mini flap does, but the length is longer on these, and if you consider a Chanel mini rectangle is in excess of £4,000 now, this is £2,950, and they're so gorgeous, aren't they? To be honest, this is why I wanted to show it to you, because I know I love these, and that's the whole notion of this vlog. Fashion is subjective. There will be people that will not ever like this graffiti print and people that will not want to understand it, and that's absolutely fine. No one wants you to always have a fashion lesson to understand the history or the inspiration of a collection. You don't have to. I just do it because it interests me. This is the 1967 logo. Probably show you better that way. That's the iconic logo. And this is Maria's version. Inspired, in my opinion, by the protest placards from the 60s, because it's scrawled in the same way that it would have been if you're going on a march and you just put it on a piece of white card and hold it above your head. So that's why I bought into this. It's a talking point, a souvenir, and very important reflection on the era that inspired the original one, which is this one. What do we think of my purchases? What do you think of today's vlog? I do like having a natter, as you know from my other vlogs. Let me know what you think, guys. If you haven't already, please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are on Miss Dior now. Who has bought into these? Does anyone have these pieces? Stay tuned. There might be another Miss Dior piece coming up in a unboxing from Dubai. If you didn't see that one, that's also pinned below. But take care, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.